To start with this workshop, we're going to use SAP Build Apps. So it's a low code, no code development platform. So for those of you who haven't developed a mobile application or a web application, this workshop is going to show you a gist of how it's done with SAP Build Apps. So moving forward with our agenda. Yeah, so I'm gonna introduce SAP and then SAP Build SAP overview. Then we'll do the hands-on workshop. And then last, we are going to share the resources. Okay, so for this workshop, we need to have these three accounts. So I'm just gonna exit this presentation once again. And I'm going to move it on the left side of the presentation. Okay. Okay. So for this workshop, I suggest that everyone is going to use two devices. So one device is for listening to or attending through this Zoom link, and the other one is going to be the hands-on. And if you're capable enough to if you have a big screen, you can do a split screen for that. So first, let's do the first one, get SAP Business Technology Platform trial account. So we are going to open this link and sign up. So for this, we suggest to use a Chrome and go to incognito. So I'm going to close this one. We're going to use incognito. So that's Control and I'm going to move it to the right and paste the link. So, Ate Gina, na-share po ba yung one? Was this slide shared with them?
Yes, the files were already sent via email last time, but don't worry, guys. I have pasted the one that like what John is actually sharing on our chat box, so you can just go ahead and copy them there.
Okay, so for those who are attending the Zoom via their mobile phone, you can open this link in your desktop or computer to access where I will paste most of the links for this workshop. So that's 2024 for I'd say not mistaken 04 so for a while let's get that thing. It's just it's 0 going to be bit.ly/0420 ADSE. So that's ADSE. So that's I'm going to paste the links also there. So so for the ones for attending via mobile phone can just simply go to this doc and copy the links. Okay, so for the BTB trial account, I'm going to help you walk through with this account creation. So for the first step, we are going to log into the SAP website. So we're just going to click this www.sap.com. Oops. Okay, I'm going to open the guide on my left side. I'm going to open the guide on the left side and do the actual workshop on the right side. So yeah, I'm going to click on the www.sap.com. And then we are going to click on this people icon or person icon. If you guys can see that. So I'm going to click that one and then we are going to create your SAP account. So we are going to click that account creation and then fill in the information needed. So Can I see a raise of hands who are able to follow with me for this workshop? So aside from Jonathan and Noel, okay. All right. So it's okay that not everyone can follow as long as there at least someone so that we can go through this together. All right. Okay. Okay. Moving forward, I'm just gonna fill up on my end so you guys can also fill in yours. Yes. So for the first name, enter your first name, country and region. That's going to be Philippines. For the company, you can use your school and university. Then for your mobile number as well. As for the department, you are going to choose training and then relationship SAP is going to be student. So just click on these check boxes and then click on submit. So yeah. Now, so the instruction here is to check your email and finalize your SAP account. So I'm going to open the email where I should receive the verification document. Oops, that's this one. I'm just gonna click each answer. So check your account for this email, the SAP Universal account activation. So we're supposedly you're going to click this, but for me, I'm going to copy this link and paste it in incognito. So there. So on your end, guys, you should create your password. So for this first prerequisite, I'm going to save it here in my sticky notes. So I'm just going to be transparent so that you guys can also save yours. So as we are going to create 3 accounts for this workshop. So we just, uh, so the password I'm going to create is going to be the date 2404 S. So click on this checkbox and then submit. All right. All right. Now our account is finally activated. So let's proceed with the next step. So where's that instruction? So once we have activated our account, we are now going to log on to our BTB trial. So I'm going to X this one and then click. So yeah, if you guys have successfully like logged onto this should appear your profile and your email. Then after verifying it, Oh yeah, we have to verify with our phone numbers. Click on manage account. Tap this. So we should go into so there. So I'm going to paste this link. The why are there many links? So for you guys, try to sign login with your created account for this. Right over. Then please try to access this this link. So sign up there. So I change that. Email.com. Then after entering your email, what's going to be shown? Okay, now so we need to verify our account with our phone. Okay, so with your phone entered, you should receive a verification for that. Okay, so my account has been already used, so I'm just going to use an alternative one. Right there. So we're still on my end. I'm still waiting for the code to be sent, so that I can verify this one. Okay. So on my end, I have received my verification. Now I'm verifying my account. Continue. So check on these terms and condition, then accept. Okay. So now we are being redirected to the BTP cockpit. So after verifying our account in step 5, so we now should be able to log in to the BTP account. Access to welcome screen. Yeah. If you're able to see this screen, it's all actually in step 5. It's step 5. So what we're going to select is select the US East AWS. So make sure guys that you select the AWS East as that's the server that we are going to use. Then click on the create account. Then it will take a while for this to be created. All right. So for this, just a quick check-in. Kindly do a raise of hands or type 1 in the chat box if you guys were able to follow. Okay, okay, we have 2 people, 3, and you have 3. So yeah, on my end, it's still creating that account, so it's still processing. So let's just wait for a couple of minutes for this. So it's still processing, spending. Okay, let's leave this as is for now. Still loading, yeah. Yeah, for Jesse, yeah, it's going to take a while for this, PTP cockpit still loading. Yeah, just give it some time and pretty much it's going to depend on your internet connectivity. All right, on my end, I have successfully created one on my end. So what we're going to do is click on this, go to your trial account. So yeah, you should be seeing now this sub-account trial. The region selected is Singapore. Oh, for that, I suggest you, Sir Jonathan, you redo it as this will cause some issues as we move forward with the training. Yeah, so to do that, you're going to, for the sub accounts, you have to delete this. You have to delete it and create another one by creating this, by choosing that create button. Select region, yeah, trial. Okay. Okay. So yeah, for now we have successfully done until step 5. So that's the prerequisite number 1. So we have created our BTP trial account. So next, we are going to create our, okay, so get free. Okay. So going back to the slides. So for the first one, we have created our BTP trial account. So that's prerequisite number 1. And then the second one, we are going to create a booster for our build up. So just copy this link and paste it on the third tab of your incognito. So I'm going to share that on the document. So open this the third link for the third tab. Now, so this is going to be the guide. I'm going to move it again on the left side so that when we are going to click the link here, oh shoot. Yeah, this is just a guide. So it's not really needed to open this one as long as you're in the Zoom. Okay, so first one is run the SAP build up booster. So I'm gonna close this one. Going back to our global accounts. So SAP BTP cockpit. So we're in here. We are going to select this booster tab and then we are going to, oops, let's wait for that to load. Internet natin. So yeah. So we're going to search for SAP build apps. Build. Get started with SAP build apps. So you should select this one. Get started with SAP build apps. Detailed account setup. So after that, we are going to click start, which is located on the upper left part of the dashboard. So once that one is going to run, okay, now we're done. So we should click next on the bottom right, this one. And then for this, we're going to select sub account. And then after that, we're going to click on next. And then for the add user, wait, it's unloading for a while. Yeah. So for this, we'll just have to click next again. And then once we have viewed, so pretty much we're just going to click on next and then click on finish. So it's going to load again. Okay, so far, sino po yung naka-reach sa end ng ganito? So who are the ones who are able to follow until this stage? Kindly chat one the chat box. So, okay, that's nice for me. Um, so it's going to keep processing for a while. Cockpit still loading pa. Question po for Miss Abigail. Were you able to use incognito? Okay, okay, so kapag naglo-load pa rin po yung cockpit, so it might be due to your internet connectivity. But if you're still getting stuck, can you hit on refresh so that it will run the process again? Select scenario. Okay. So on my end, I have successfully created the booster. Close. Yeah, I'm just gonna close this one. Okay. So question is that select scenario up for Julius. On what step ka po? Is it on the prerequisite one or nandito pa, or are you here in the, yes, that's prerequisite one. Select scenario. You're going to create the sub account. Okay, bye. Okay, created. Yeah, created na yan Kayla sa BTP cockpit. So, yeah. For you, okay, let's go. Let's run through it again. So after you have created your BTP account, you are going to select on the booster on the navigation, and then select on the SAP build apps, click on that widget, and then click on start. And then, yeah, pretty much you're going to click on next, next, next until it's going to be built. So after you have created the booster, you should be like having this screen already. So now moving on the step 2, create password for new identity provider. So I think this is on the email. Yeah. So for this step, you should receive already an email that you need to activate your identity authentication service. So supposedly you are going to click on this to activate. Yeah, medyo matagal yung sa review for the processing. So sa mga hindi makakahabol, so for those ones who weren't able to follow, well, we'll send this guide later after this workshop. What I'm currently doing is walking you through on how to create an account and then build a application in the SAP. So I'm going to copy this link again. Yeah. So this is the administration console. So that's on the prerequisite number 2. So again, I'm just going to create another one. So it's just that. Yes, freelancer with my password. Let's take this. Let's copy this one. So I'm just gonna set that again as the password. So no problem there. So yeah, now it's successfully activated. So going back to the guide, now we are going to open the SAP build app. So go back to the second tab and then let's go to the trial home again and then go to your trial account and then open this one. Yeah, so you should be able to see the services tab now and then click on the instance and subscription. And then after that, you are going to select this SAP build apps and then it will open a new tab for our dashboard. So for this, yeah, just try to ignore the subsequent logins. Recall. Right. So now we are in the SAP build apps dashboard. So yeah. So question. Kindly chat one the chat box if you guys were able to follow until this one. Sir, saan po yung identity provider? For the identity provider, you need to you need to activate it once you have created the booster. Okay. So Mr. Julius, can you share your screen so that we can see where are you currently at? Okay, yeah. Oh, so yeah, you need to activate your accounts in order to gain access to the platforms. Okay. All right. So moving forward, that's on the prerequisite number 2. Again, guys, we are still on the account creation. We are not yet in the application development. So this will take a while. So bear with me, guys. So that's why it's quite important to follow through as your time won't be wasted. Okay. All right, so we're going to do the third one, the third account. So I'm going to copy this again. I'm just gonna paste it in the doc for you guys to copy. Yeah, this is just the guide. So yeah, we are going to create a SAP gateway demo. So go to the sign up page. So for this, we are going to need paste this. Uh, for the tab, guys, just leave it there as we need to be logged into those accounts. So for this, you have to have your SAP account already. So we've already done that on the prerequisite number one. So if you haven't done that, you won't be able to follow with this. Okay, moving forward, we are going to click on the accept, and then yeah, if you are if you have pasted the link in the same browser, this should appear. Just click on the I have read and understood the terms and condition, and then click on the register. Then next we are going to fill out the registration form. It's currently being processed. You should be receiving, yeah. So if you are already in this view, you should be receiving another confirmation email. So it should contain your username and your initial password. So in my case, I won't be needing to change it as this is only a demo account. So yeah, I'm just going to copy my username and then my password as well. I guess we're going to be prompted to change this later. Yeah, fortunately we have to change it. So this is for the SAP NetWeaver account. So that's for the ES5 account. That's basically the server that we are going to use for our backend. So for the keeps, I'm just gonna paste my username, password. On my end, I'm just gonna use again the same password. This is going to be just a demo. So for the current password, copy what's sent in the email, and then click on change. Yeah, for now, I have successfully changed the password on my end. And then click on continue. You should have already received this uh, prompt when you have successfully created your account. So yeah, so that's step 4. You have to change your password, and then you should be receiving this successfully logged message. So additional information, yeah, if you just need to reset your password, just have to click on this link. All right. Uh, for the participants, kindly chat one if you are able to follow up until this point. I need at least one participant. Yeah. Okay. Nice. Any other else? Did anyone? How about Miss Abby? Mista. Okay. Do we have anyone else other than Ritik? So for Kwan, how about Julius? Were you able to follow and create this gateway demo? Mm-hmm. Okay, step 3. Okay, so it's still on step 3. Yeah, will take some time for this. I just starting my laptop. Yeah, okay, Abigail, that's okay. Yeah, sometimes there are issues with the platform. All right. So for how many accounts? For this workshop, we need to have these three accounts. The first one is the SAP account. So we need that account in order to gain access to the SAP build apps. And then for the third account, we need an ES5 account for our backend. So we need to have these three accounts just for the for the three applications that we are going to do. If you guys have any question, feel free to chat me in the chat box. Guys, take note that we are still on the fourth slide. So yeah, this is going to be a lengthy one. Yeah, Kyla, that's the main page. You see, you're in the right. Mm. Okay, I'm going to proceed now with the introduction of SAP. So what we have done is just the three accounts that we are going to be needing for this workshop. So SAP, an introduction of SAP is that it's a tool for businesses to build their platforms on the web. So statistically, 76% of the world's transaction revenue touches on at least one SAP system. As this system also takes on the $16 trillion consumer purchases around the world. And then additionally, SAP customers distribute more than 78% of the world's food. This is related to the e-commerce websites and the logistics. And then SAP customers produce more than 82% of the world's medical devices. So SAP is widely used for businesses, especially mostly on logistics and in the health sector. Yeah. So next slide. So SAP Build is just one of the many tools of SAP. So we are just going to compose apps with the SAP Build apps. So there are also other tools to automate processes and to design business sites. So this is more on the websites. So SAP Build's overview. Yeah, SAP Build app is a drag and drop software that you can use to design user interfaces. So it uses over 400 built-in formula functions, and you can create any logic visually. And then you can also bring your own data with predefined integrations and deploy your built applications to various platforms. So yeah, for an app demo, I'm going to play this one.
Do you have an idea for an enterprise app, but no coding skills? Are you a coder but need a way to create apps faster? With SAP Build Apps, you can quickly and easily build custom applications that drive your business forward without writing code. Use SAP Build Apps to build front-end apps that run on a mobile device or in a web browser, and integrate with enterprise applications and data. Or build cloud-deployed application backends with custom data and business logic that support your front-end apps. Building an app starts with designing the user interface. Drag and drop the controls you need, like input fields or buttons, to the user interface canvas, and then set properties for those controls. Application logic, how the app responds to things like a button tap or opening a new page, is programmed visually by connecting trigger events to flow functions. Logic flows can be simple or have several steps and branching. Flow functions are available for navigation between pages, setting program variables, working with data, and using device features. You can easily and securely connect your app to enterprise applications such as SAP S/4HANA, SAP SuccessFactors, as well as non-SAP applications. As you build your app, use the preview capability to check your progress at each step. Preview is available for both mobile devices and web browsers. You can also create cloud-based backends for your apps without writing code. Visually define and manage the information your app needs to store and create business logic. Use SAP Build Apps to create innovative enterprise apps without writing code. SAP Build Apps is part of SAP Build. Want to learn more? Visit sap.com/build.
All right, so that's pretty much what SAP is. So it's used on small, medium, and large enterprises. So kindly chat one if you okay, later. So going back to the slides. So if you guys have already have your accounts created, we are going to proceed now on the hands-on workshop. So what we're going to do is we're going to create an app, and then it will interact with our API with our back-end server. So for this hands-on workshop, we have two missions. So the first one is we are going to create a barcode scanner app. And the second one is to create an IT order app. So for the first mission, we are going to follow through with this step-by-step guide. So I'm going to just open this guide again on the tab, menu tab. Okay. So create SAP Build Apps project. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our SAP Build lobby. So this is the one. So if we're going to go to trial account, should be seeing this one already. So under the instances and subscription, we need to click on the, okay, I'm gonna open this trial sub account. Then under the instances and subscription, we are going to click on the SAP build app. So it should open this dashboard already. So now let's proceed with the main creation. So with the SAP build lobby, let's click on create. And then we have to build an application that's going to be SAP build apps. Okay. So for the link, what link are you referring to? Is it the guide? Okay, for the guide. I'm gonna paste it first. Yeah. I'm going to paste it in the doc and in the chat also. That's the guide. Okay, moving forward, we're going to proceed. Okay. So let's build a web application in this case. So project name. So for this, we are going to name the project a scanner application. Yeah, we are going to create a scanner application in this case, and then just append your, let's say, initials for this. So in my case, I'm going to append hello Jonas. Oh yeah, and then hit on click create. Upon clicking on the create button, it should redirect you to this canvas. So just a quick check-in again. Are you guys able to have this canvas on your end as well? Can I get a 1 in the chat box or a raise of hands? How about the others? Okay, nice. Okay, Jonathan as well. Okay, so with this canvas, what are we going to proceed with? Build up. So this is going to be your canvas where you're going to edit the application. So this canvas in the middle, that's the iPhone 15 canvas, or we can change it to an iPad. So that's going to be a bit wider. So for this, we're going to have the iPhone 15 Pro. So what we're going to do is we are going to edit our app interface. So we're going to click on the headline, and then we are going to change this headline into a barcode scanner. Don't show this in later. Barcode scanner. Okay, and then we are going to click on the text that's below the barcode scanner and type in scan a bar code of a food product using your smartphone. So that's one. So we managed to edit the text on our canvas. So next, what we're going to do is add a scan button. So on the left side, the core tab, you're going to get the button and then drag and drop it in the canvas. Then after that, we are going to edit the button label to scan. So there we go. The button now is labeled as scan. And then we're going to click save on the upper right. So let's always save our progress. Okay. Now we're going to preview the app on our device. So I'm just going to give you guys 5 minutes to download the app actually. So this is called SAP Build Apps. So get your device, your mobile phone. Where's that? Yeah, and install this SAP Build Apps preview. So upon installing it, go to and upon installing it, let's go home. It's this icon. So that's the SAP preview. Aside from the mobile app preview, we can also preview the application in the browser. So let's do that one. So what we're going to do is click on the launch, and then we are going to preview our app. So that's the use of the mobile app preview. And then we can also build our app once we have finalized everything and upload it to the Google Play Store, Huawei App Gallery, or the iOS App Store. So for now, what we're going to do is just we're going to preview our app. So I'm going to click on the open preview portal. So it should show you guys this screen. So we can preview this on the web just by clicking on this one. So click on open. So this is what our app looks like in the web. So going back, if you are going to open it via the device, if you guys have been able to download it, click on the other login options. And then for the edition, we are going to switch to SAP Build Apps US 10, as that is our gateway. That's US 10 on the URI. And then click on generate code. You should be receiving that, and then paste the code in the web app. Now it's already authenticated. It should load now on the app. So yeah. So upon loading it, just click on open. So now this is the preview. Let's see to load up this scriptor. Yeah, I'm currently using a virtual an emulator, so this is quite showing these errors. But if you have managed to download in your app, there should be no issues for this. It's alright. Anyways, that's what our app looked like in the app preview. So yeah. So that's on the first part. Now we are going to move on to configure our application to open our camera. So I'm going to paste the link again here, as well in the chat box. For you guys to follow the tutorial. Okay, I'm gonna open it already. I'm gonna close the previous one, close this one. Okay. Okay. So what we're going to do next is configure our app to open our camera. So for going back to this built up canvas, we're going to switch to the UI Canva. You guys can see it. Yeah. Make it a bit bigger. Can nothing. Right. So we are currently in the UI canvas. So we are going to click on the scan button, and then after that we are going to click on the add logic to button 1. So click on this one, it should show you a component tab here. So what we're going to do is that for this scan button, once it hits tapped by the user, we need to add this to our camera. So scroll under to the device and then drag and drop the scan QR code barcode. Then after that, we are going to connect it. So usually you can add logic to your apps with this drag and drop logic canvas. So after that, we have created that upon tapping the button is going to scan QR code. What we're going to do is add in an alert element. So to do this, we are going to return to the core logic options and then scroll to alert. So alert part is on the bottom. Where's that? Alert. Yeah, it's on the dialog part of the core logic canvas. So going to click and drag and drop it. And then we are going to connect our scan QR and barcode to this dialog. So yeah, once this is done, you should have this logic on your end. Just gonna center that one. So yeah, and then next we're going to proceed with step 4. We're going to bind the elements. So to do this, we're going to click on the dialog logic. You need to click on this dialog alert logic, and then for the properties, what we're going to do is click on the currently bounded to where's that one? Yeah, on the dialog box, we're going to click on this ABC. So what we're going to do is output value of another node, and then we're going to click on the scan QR barcode. Then you should select scan QR barcode or QR barcode content and then click on save. So that's what we have done. We have binded that alert to on the alert part. The next save and preview. So yeah, we're going to preview again the app. So launch. So what we're going to do is preview the app again, open, then click on this preview, and then let's try to scan what other message queue. Yeah, I guess this only works on the preview app, as the preview app has the camera. So I'm gonna try that. Yes. Let me see the load. Okay, my emulator doesn't work, but I'm going to try it on my phone. I'm gonna generate code. That one. And that's 10 RIA. So it's authenticated. So I hope you guys can see it. Was I able to save it? On save. Okay. Okay, let's reload that. This should show. Okay. First, try to connect it. And okay. So if you're able to download the SAP build preview, you should now have access to this application. So we're going to click on open it, then scan, then there. Our camera now works. So again, a quick check-in, kindly type 1 or a raise of hands in the Zoom if you guys were able to follow this one. All right. Aside from Jonathan, who else managed to follow up until this point to open the camera? Okay, we have another one. Anyone else? Okay, nice. All right, it seems that some of you are able to follow. So for the others, if you weren't able to follow, I suggest that you try to check this after this workshop and try to catch up. Okay, nice. So that's just opening our camera. Next, what we're going to do is connect our SAP build app to a public API. So what that does is that we are going to load data on our mobile app with an available public API. Oh, we're just going to connect pala muna. Okay. So what we're going to do to connect that is we are going to the data tab. So if you still are in this canvas, so let's mini collapse this one and then move to the data tab. And then what we're going to do is we are going to create a data entity. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're going to create a data entity and then we're going to select REST API that direct integration. Click on that one. And then we are going to configure our resources with the following details. So for our resource ID, we are going to have the open facts. Copy that. Just a short description. That's data from open to the facts API. And then I'm going to copy in the resource URL. So for this resource URL, be very, very attentive to the for the link. I'm going to share again the link of the Google Doc. So that's okay. So what we're doing is we're configuring our connection with a public API. So after this, we are going to click on the record. We're going to get a record. So that's on the third tab, get record. Then we need to configure this on the relative path where there's currently a slash curly braces NID and then I put the curly braces again. We are going to enter this slash product slash barcode. So we're going to paste that one. And then after that, we are going to move to the URL placeholder and then click on the ID. So for the ID, what we're going to do is fill in with this value. So for the label, that's going to be the barcode. It's gonna enter a barcode 100 phones. Ah, for the code, you have to go to, you're going to preview the app. Or for example, this one, I'm going to log out. So what you're going to do, diba, for some of you, they might have clicked on this one. So this is the code that you're getting, but it's causing error. So what we want to do is click on these other login options. And then for the edition, click on the SAP Build Apps US 10. So that's our gateway. And then generate the code. So this code, you should copy this code instead of the other one. So I hope that helps. Okay. Moving back, we are currently filling in the values for these properties. For the key, that's a barcode with a lowercase b. As for the value, is going to be a text description. Just leave it as is, and then is encoded. We have to enable this one. As for is static, disabled, and then is optional, disabled. After that, we should go back and test this one. So click on the test tab here. So under the barcode, we are going to, it's currently bounded to the a static text. So what we're going to do is we need to click this ABC icon. And then what we're going to, currently we're just testing, so it's only static. So what we're going to test it with is a value of 6416453061361 and then click on run test. So the status. So now we have fetch this JSON file. Yeah. Now we're going to set the schema for this response. So upon testing it, this is the data that we have gotten. So what we're going to do is set schema from the response. So the response is the data form that we are going to follow for this application. So just click on that set schema and then okay, what's next? So we are going to save this data entity. Click on save data entity and then you're going to click again save in the upper right part. So that's save. All right, so now what we have managed to do is connect our scanner into a public API of Open Food Packs. So now we're going to fetch data from that public API. Then I'm just going to paste the link here again in the chat. And then in the doc also. All right, so we're going to fetch the data on the public API. Close this one, close this one. So, all right, so what we're going to do now is fetch data from the public API that we have just set up. So going back to the UI canvas, so it says here that we need to fix our scan. So open your draft vision composer account. So what we're going to do is we're just going to delete the logic for the button one and delete that one. So we're just going to delete this alert. So hit on delete. So that should disappear right now. Then what we are going to do is that when the user click on the scan button, it should get the data that we have just connected. So in our core logic canvas, we are going to look for the get record option. So it's this one, get record. Then after that, we have to connect it with the button. So there we go. And then we are going to bind this get record to our API. So just click on it and then we have to click on this ABC icon again that's currently bound to static text. And what we're going to do is click on the output value of another node. So it's going to do the same barcode. It's going to scan QR barcode / QR barcode content. And then we're going to click save. So we have binded our get record core in our logic canvas. So next, we are going to add data variables. So I'm assuming that for the CS students here or IT students, so we are quite familiar with variables. So variables are the names of the data that we are going to use in our application. So to demonstrate this, we need to switch to our variables. Instead of view, we are going to switch to the variables view. So with this, we are going to click on the data variables and then let's X this one. What we're going to do is we need to add data variable for this get record logic. So after that, we are going to click on open food facts. And then for the data variable type, we are going to get a single data record as we just need one record per scan. We don't need to get all of the data. So, okay, so that's settled. And then, okay, what's next? So we are now in this logic. So what we're going to do is that when this data is already opened in the logic canvas, we are actually going to delete it here. So on the pages mountain, get data records, set data variables. So we are going to delete that. Delete these two cores. Okay, so I'm gonna switch back on the view. Oops. Yes, that's the variable. So I'm gonna on the variables view, the data variables, we are going to delete this core logic from the button one. So again, this is on the variable views. So we just need this component tab to be shown in this data. Oops. Was it that? Okay. This one. There, yeah. We just need to delete the logic. Then we are going back to the view. Let's see if there. Oops, I have deleted. So I'm just gonna bring back the logic for this one scan. scan QR code. So I accidentally just clicked on the for a while. I'm just gonna revert it. For a while lang, I just ano ko yung huling data save point. Okay, I'm just gonna add the QR code back again. Wait lang. Okay, let's just go back to the if it's right, let's see if there's no error. Okay, let's go back to the view interface. Then clicking on this scan, there's the and yeah, I accidentally delete this one, guys. So let give me some time to fix it. So scan your code. Yeah, we did it. They deleted the con and get record. What we need to do is connect this one, the data for output values scan QR code. Yeah, QR code save. All right, so okay, I fixed that one. So on your end, you should be seeing this on the view interface on clicking the scan button. So what we want to do is when the logic of get records is clicked on, we need to set a variable for that. So we are going to set a data variable for that. Set data variable. So we're going to click, drag that one, then connect this again to that for logic. So we are going to bind this variable now with our Open Food Box API. So what we're going to do is click on this data that's currently bound to object with properties. And then what we want now is to click on this output value of another node. And what we want to do now is going to get record. And then on the record part, we can select the records. So should work on this one. But then again, I just have to also wait. Let's wait. We're getting stuck there. Okay. So it's quite being unresponsive. Yeah. So it should get this record right now. But on this case, I'll just have to click on this formula. So I'm going to navigate back. Okay, it's unresponsive. Let's wait for a while, guys. Okay. So get record. So the reason that it's lagging is that there's a lot of data in here. So that's why it's better to use this formula. So let's just wait for this to load again. No save button. Wait. Yeah, there's no save button. It's going to lag a bit. So what we're going to do instead is use the formula. So on the formula part, we are going to copy this script and paste it on that one, and then click on the save. So I'm just gonna, so for you guys, just click on the formula and then paste this formula in that text field, then click on save. So upon successfully binding the data on this variable, what we're going to do is save now our application. So that's on the step 4. What we're going to do now is display fetch data in your application. So I'm gonna open this guy. Okay. I'm gonna paste it also. Okay, let's continue with last step. Finally. Okay. So step 1, we're going to add a text component to our app so that we can display what we have fetched on the API. So on the UI canvas, we are going to add a title component under the scan. So that's title over there. And then we are going to change the content to product information. So for this content, I'm going to change it to product information. Then after that, we are going to add another text component on the canvas. So that's where we're going to paste to display the product name. So click on this text component, and then we have to bind this to the API that we have just set up. So click on the data variables, and then we are going to choose this data variable part, and then we are going to click on the open food facts. So with this, we are going to look for the product underscore name field. So to do that, it's better to do find. So that's Control F. So we're going to look for the product underscore name. So we're going to select this one. So again, it's going to lag a bit, and there's the save button won't appear. So what we're going to do is we are going to go back and use this formula instead. Lag. Okay, you're going to back formula. Then we're going to copy this formula and paste it here. So I'm just going to send it in the chat. And then click on save. So the preview is this original product. And then click on save. It should appear. Then now for the text component, what we're going to do we are going to add another text component. And then we are going to bind this again with the energy content of the product. So again, we are going to use the formula for this. So we're going to copy this formula, paste it there. So 1355, then click on save. So that should be the preview. Okay, I'm gonna paste it also in the chat box. And, okay, and then click on save. So lastly, we're going to add a image. So there we go. We're going to click, drag, and drop that image component. And then for the source, we're going to bind it with the API. So for this, we're going to use formula again. So just click this, copy this formula, and then paste it there. So I'm just gonna paste it again in the chat box and there. And then click on save. So once that is done, we are going to save and test. So let's click on save. All right. Now we're going to test. So again, I'm going back to the launch part and then open preview portal. Then if you have already logged in your mobile app, it should automatically refresh. So once we have opened the build, so okay, let's generate code. say RM9 confirm the pin authenticated. Yeah, and then opening it. Yeah, so for this, open it and scan this QR code on the left side. So it should show. So when you have scanned the barcode above, it should show similar one on this Ocean Spar sauce. So yeah, so that's how we get data from a public API. So on my end, it looks like this. Oops. Yeah, it's somehow similar to this screenshot on the left side. All right, so just a quick check-in again. So what we have done is we have completed mission 1. Kindly chat in 1 in the chat box if you were able to follow or show us a couple of hands. Okay, Jonathan. Nice. How about the others? So again, we'll send this guide for everyone to follow and catch up. So if you weren't able to follow on this first mission, that's okay. You can do it later this evening or your free time. Okay, on the second part, what we're going to do now is the second mission. So for the others that wasn't able to follow with the first mission, we are going to do the second mission. So we actually have done this prerequisite for mission 2. That's the ES5 gateway. So that was actually this SAP NetWeaver. So we're just going to hit this. So yeah, we have created this one. So this is the account that we have created earlier. Okay. And then configure to this one. Okay. So now let's proceed with the configuration of the S5 endpoint in our BTP trial destination. So what we're going to do now is go back to our BTP trial account. So this is the link that we're going to use. So I'm going to edit this one. So yes, we can exit that one already. Then go to the trial. Okay, been trying to catch up. No SAP yet. Okay, Abigail, can you share your screen so that you will be able to participate in this second part? Hello. Mm, no SAP built. So if we're in the same page, hello, uh, Miss Abby, if you can open your mic or share your screen.
Naka-share po.
Okay, sorry. I have to stop. For what? I have to stop. Okay, good. So SAP built application trial. Saglit lang. So going sa global. Yeah, nasa sub account. Okay, so nasa ano po ka, nasa instance and subscription. So wala siya nagpakita. So click on this search field there and click on type in SAP build apps. Oh, wala nagpakita. Okay, saglit. Were you able to create the 3 accounts for this workshop?
Yes po, na-create ko yung tatlong account.
Long account. Hmm, saglit lang. Can you navigate back to the BTB cockpit? Saan po? See, and click on the trial home. Okay, and then click on go to your trial account. Okay, account explorer. So that's AWS. Then yeah, click on that AWS sub account. After that, just wait, UAST provider. Okay, and then navigate to the instances and subscription. This should appear. Isa lang. Oh. Okay. So, let's, for this, Abby, I suggest to go back from the start of the tutorial, as you may have skipped one of those setups, especially this configure the ES5 endpoint. Yeah. Okay. So if you have questions, you can like email me or chat with us so that we can assist you, like maybe have a one-on-one for this. Okay. So I'm going to, let's go back to the mission 2. So that's why it's critical to have those 3 accounts ready when doing this workshop, as some options might not be visible if you haven't created those accounts. So again, moving forward, let's go back to the BTP cockpit, and then we are going to configure our sub account. So in this BTP cockpit dashboard, we are going to click on the connectivity. Sorry, we're actually going to click. Yeah, we're already on the trial. Then click on the connectivity and the destination tab. And then we are going to create a destination. So for this, we need to have to create 3 new properties. So these are the properties that we need to have. So that's AppGyver enabled. So I'm gonna send it also in the chat. And then this HTML5 dynamic as well. Properties. And then this web IDE enabled. So to solve these issues, we need to set these properties to true. Again, that lowercase true. Okay, for the name, we are just going to name it as ES5 underscore Skyweaver sample. And then for the description, let's leave it as is. For the URL, we need to copy this exact. We need to copy this exact link URL. Copy to clipboard. Using things in the send also in the chat box. Okay, so far that's all For the internet authentication, for the authentication, we need to set this as a basic authentication. And then for the US, user and password, so we are going to use our ES5 account. So this is the one. So that's on the third prerequisite SAP waiver. So we're just going to input there the user and then the password. Okay, once that's done, how about the last process I think okay, let's click on save. Okay, now we are able to configure our destination. Right. So far, can some of the participant type 1 if they were able to configure this destination properly? Okay, we have one. How about the others? Okay. So for the others again, I just want to emphasize that you need to start with creating the accounts and follow through the tutorials so that there won't be issues on your end, especially like the SAP build apps not showing. Okay, so I'll move forward already since we are already 2 hours in. So step 2, let's create an IT order app. So this is going to be for the front end. So going back to our SAP build dashboard lobby. So what we're going to do is we're going to create another application, click on build application, SAP build apps. And then since this is a front end, we need to click still on the web and mobile application. So as for the project name, let's name it create IT order underscore initials. So for me, that's going to be the wrong ones. And then click on create. Right. So once successfully creating that, we should be redirected to this one. Okay. So again, we're going to rename the UI. So click on the headline and we need to rename this to product list. And as also for the text component, we are going to rename this to select a product to create an order. So after that's done, we're going to save. Then on to the next step, authentication with SAP BTP. So we are going to navigate to this auth tab and then click on enable authentication. Then after that, we are going to click on the SAP BTP authentication, then click on OK. So once that is done, let's go back to our data. And then for the integration, we click on it and add the BTP destination on this subsystem. So let's click on this BTP destination and then click on the ES5 gateway that we have set. So yeah, then we install this integration. Now, then after this, So what we want to do is go to the product set. So product set, and then enable the data entity, then click on save. So once again, that's on the data, and then the ES5 sample that we have set up, and the product set, and then click on save. So now what we're going to do is define the data variables. So what we're going to do is go back to the UI canvas, and then we're going to switch the interface into a variable view. So for this, we are going to go to the data variables, and then click on the add data variables, and check on the product set. Now we will have this in the view list ready. So clicking on that one. And then after selecting the product set one, we are going to go back to the page variables. And then we also have to add a page variable for this. Then we have to rename this to the variable name into a filter. And then after that, let's click on save. So then we're going to configure our input field. So we need to switch to the view interface. And then what we're going to do is drag and drop a field component. So that's the input field component under the text. And then we are going to rename the label into, what was that? We need to remove this label. Okay, where are we now? So, and then after this, we are going to click on this X icon under the value section, and then click on the data and variables. After that, we have to click on this page variable, and then select on the filter, then click on save. So after that, we are going to add a list divider and an item. So there we have the list divider, and then we have to add a list item just below that. So now we are going to configure this product list. So let's select the list item. So it's this one. And then we have to click on the icon under the repeat with this one, and then we have to select on the data and variables and click on the data variable. Then select product set one, and then save. So that's going to repeat. Then step 11, let's add a primary label. So we are going to click on the ABC icon under the primary label. So it's in the properties section. So once we click that, we have to the data item and repeat. Okay, hold on. And the primary label. Yeah, we are going to select on the data item in repeat, then select this current one, and then we have to go to the name. So this returns 21 properties. Let's look for the name. Yeah, we have to click on this. So yeah, so if the data is quite short, it should be easy to select the data. So after that, let's click on save. So that's for the repeat. And then going back to the secondary label, let's click again on the ABC icon and then the data in repeat widget, same with the current, and we are going to look for the product ID. So it's this one. So after that, we are going to click on save, right? So after that, we are going to edit the list, item one formula to filter the list. So what we're going to do is click on the icon under visible. Is it the arrow visible? Ah, yeah. Yeah, Abby. Yeah, it's okay. That's on the booster part. Okay. Moving back, let's go back to the click on the icon, a variable list. Was it list item? Okay, list item one, and then we have to. Okay, it's not under this one. We have to scroll. What? Yeah, you have to scroll on the advanced properties. So yeah, we have to edit the visible part. So we're going to edit that one, and we are going to enter a formula for that. So for this, we have to paste this formula. So that's the contain. So it's this filter. So I'm going to paste it on the chat. So in the page, then click on save. Click on save again. So currently we are in the home page. So it's this part. Yeah, on the home page. So what we're going to do now is add another page. So for the product details. So let's click on this and then let's name it product details. Click on OK. Okay, and then we are going to define the parameters. So in the home page, we have the data, and then we are going to pass that to the next page. So those are the parameters. So for this, we're going to switch quickly to the variables interface and then navigate to the page parameters. And we need to add a parameter on that. And then we are going to name it product ID. Okay. Then after that, okay, we are going to the data variables. So go to the data variables, click on the plus on the add data variable, and then select the product set, and then click on the single data record for the data variable type. Okay. Then for the product ID, click on the X and select on the data and variables. Then go to the page parameter and the product ID, and then save. Okay. Once that's done, we hit on save on the upper right, and then switch back to the view interface. So now let's go to the product details view. So currently when we are in the product details, let's switch back to the home page. So again, we are in the home page of the UI canvas. And then what we want to do now is to configure the app logic. So we need to select the list item component. So for easier selection, we need to, let's refer to this tree. So it's the list item one. And then what we want to do is open the logic tab. So now we have the event here component tab. So what we are going to do now is open page component. So once the item is clicked, it should redirect us to the product details page. That's why we are adding this navigation. Right, and then after connecting that, what we then clicking on this navigation logic. So we want to redirect the page to the product details. So click on this home page and then switch to the product details and hit on save. So after that's done, let's add in more parameters. So, okay, on the product ID, we have to click on this icon to count any values. And then let's click on the data item in repeat widget and then select on the product ID. So again, that's Control F. Product ID, select it and then save. And then let's save the project once again. Yes, sir. Okay, now back to the product details. So we are currently in the home page. So I'm going to navigate back to the product details. So for this, we are going to select the title component and then rename to the product details. Then after that, we are going to select the text component and click on the X to remove it. So let's delete this component for now. Then what we're going to do is drag and drop two card components. So on the left part on the display, we're going to drag two cards. So that's 1 and 2. So after this, let's save again our project. And let's add our first card component. So for this first card, that's card 1, let's select card 1. And then let's click on the ABC under the title part and then click on the formula. And then we need to add in the product name plus data product set one name. So I have that here. So that's product name. So let's add this formula. Then click on click and save. So I'm gonna send the formula in the chat. And give us a shell. So after that, let's click on saving. Okay, save. And then on the component 2, let's select. And let's go back to the card 1 component again. Then under the content, we are going to edit this again, the formula. So the formula should show the product ID. So for this, I'm going to need this product ID and paste it there. Then click on save. So I'm going to send it also in the chat and in the doc. Okay, then click on save. Alright. So after this, let's move to the second card. So that's card 2. Let's do the same process. So let's click on the ABC icon under title. On the formula, what's the difference is we are going to add in the supplier. So that's supplier name. Let's add that one. And then going back here, let's save that and click on save. Now let's add the second part. That's on the content. So as for the second part of the content, let's click again to this ABC. Then click on the formula and add in again the supplier ID. So this is the formula. I'm going to paste it in the chat as well as in the doc. We have that, and then click on save and save again. So after this, we have added the components. Then what we're going to do now is click on save, then launch again, then preview our. So let's open the web preview. So it's this one. It's the create IT order open. So now we are able to fetch this data for the IT list. So for example, I'm going to search for the card reader. We have that one. So there. So for now, what we have done is that we have created a user interface to view the data. So the next thing that we want to do now is to create the ordering. So yeah, for the mobile preview, again, go to the login other options. First, for your app. So open this again. We'll get back. So yeah, if you're already logged in, it should reflect this create IT order. Then once opening that, to relaunch this. There. So we can now search, for example, like card reader. We have the code. Okay, for a while. Okay. Maybe go this way. So let's look for cover. Then, yeah, it should reflect this one. So back to mission 2, what we have just done is the front end for the mobile app. On the next part, we are going to create the back end. So another check-in for those who managed to follow, kindly type 1 in the chat box, or you can raise your hands in the Zoom. So again, I'm going to ask, thank you, Ritik, for response. So who else managed to follow and have this app preview on their end? Can I see a raise of hands or type 1 in the chat box if you're currently following through, like you're following the tutorial? Okay. Thanks, Abby and Jonathan. Okay, yes, nice. Right. So what I'm currently doing is just walking you through, guys. So if you have further questions with this, you can reach out to us later. Okay, let's just finish this back-end part. Okay, so let's go back to our SAP build lobby again. So currently we have two projects already. So that's the scanner application and create IT order. So let's go now. Oh yeah, sige na eh. Wait. Yeah, we are in the back end already. So that's slide. We are currently in slide 60. So we have 20 more slides to go. Ooh. Anyways, so now let's create the backend project. So again, in the top build lobby, let's click on the create, build an application, then sub build apps, and then click on the application backend. So for the project name, let's name that create IT order backend and your initials. And then click on create. Okay, we should be able to have this canvas again. So let's click on the create new button on the upper right and then type in orders and then click on add. So that's our data entity. So we are going to add fields. So what we're going to do, we're going to add in the product ID. So see product ID and then for the field type it's going to be a text. So let's add we're going to add more, add customer name, click on text and the customer ID. Then we are going to add in the order amount. So that's a number. So on the field type, the data type should be a number and then click on the add. So for this, you need to have your product ID, customer name, and the order amount. Right. Next, we are going to configure the deployment. So let's click on the deployment and then save. So currently, it's currently setting up. So setting up in progress. So let's save the app. Right, it's saved already. Then let's wait for this. So this process will take 15 minutes at most, but let's see if this can be created. Yeah, it's going to take around 2 minutes. So let's save that time for the others to catch up. Okay. wait for this. Okay, now that's done progress. Let's click on review and deploy. Then we are going to deploy that to the development. So this will take roughly 2 minutes. Yeah, deploying will roughly take 2 minutes. So let's wait for that. So we're currently waiting for the app to be deployed. Right, it's deployed on my end, so it should show healthy. All right, now let's edit the front end projects. So okay, now we have edited the back end. Let's go back to the front end. So again, guys, I'm navigating back to the create IT order front end application. I'm gonna go back to the UI canvas. And then what we want to do now is run the product details, right? Okay, just let me check. It- Oh yeah, we need to navigate back to the front end. So product details. So let's go back to the product details page. And what we want to do now is we need to drag and drop the following components in order. So we need to input a list divider, an input field, and then another input field, a button, a text, and another button as well. So we are currently in the product details page. So let's define the page variables. So let's click on this variables in user interface. Then let's go to the page variables. And then what we want to do here is we add a page variable. And then let's rename that to cost. Name with the value of X. Right? Yeah. And then what you want to do now again is create another variable, and that should be amount. And the variable value type should be a number. Then let's save our project and switch back to the view interface. So let's now configure the data integration. Let's click on this data tab, and then let's add integration. My worst part. Go to the data tab, add integration. We want to add in the cloud functions. And then let's select the created backend project. So this is the create ID order backend. Now let's install the integration. Enough fun. Let's enable the data entity and click on save. Now let's go back to the UI canvas. That's our project saved. So let's select the first input field component. So that's input field 1. So I'm selecting from the 3 navigation. And then let's rename this. Let's rename the label to customer name. And then let's click on the X icon under the value. And then let's select the data and variables, page variables, and then select the customer and save. So it's the same. Yeah, that's for the customer name. Then let's select the second input field, and then let's change the label into amount. And then let's click on the X again under the value and click on the data and variables, page variables, and let's select the amount and save. Then let's save our project. And then we are going to edit our first button. So this first button, let's rename this to create an order for this product. And then let's select on the text component below this button. And then let's rename it to or, and then go back to the layout and ensure that the layout is aligned to the center. So there we have or. Then next we are going to add in the second button. So we are going to rename the label to, let's go back to properties. Let's rename the label to go back to the product list. Then let's save our project. So on the first logic button, so let's create an order for this product. Let's click on this logic canvas. We are going to drag and drop the following logic components. So that's create record. So where's that? Create record, and then an alert dialog. Then after that, we are going to navigate back. So let's connect this. So that's the button up on top. That's going to create a record. Then after the record is created, we are going to show an alert that the record has been successfully created, and then navigate back to the homepage. Then for the logic entity, so let's click on the create record core, and then click on the icon under the resource name. Then let's select the data entity, and then let's select orders and click on save. Then let's configure the parameters mapping. So where's the custom object? So let's select on this custom object, and then click on X to this missing lines. So let's close those ones. Then after that, we are going to click on the X under the product ID and follow the following path. So we're going to click on data and variables, then page variables. Wait, was it page variables? Page parameters, sorry. So page parameters, and then let's select this product ID and then save. And then for the order amount, let's do the same, data and variables. And what we're going to select here is the page variable instead of parameter. So let's click on the amount, then save. Then lastly, for the customer name, let's do the data and variables again, then page variable once again, then customer name, and hit on save. So after that, we should have this product ID, amount, and the customer name. Then click on save. Then on the alert part, on the alert core, that on the alert core, let's create a dialog title of order is created. And then let's select on the, okay, wait. So we have selected the alert component, then dialog text order is created. Going to select the second button component. Okay, let's pause for a while. Okay, let's go back. Let's select the alert component and dialog text create first product. Second button. Then drag and drop. Yeah, we have to add the for the second button. We are going to navigate back to the home page. So yeah, for the first button, the logic should have these three cores. So create record, alert, and then navigate back. As for the go back to the product list, the core that we just need is the navigate back core for the logic. So next, let's save that one and then hit on the launch tab and then let's preview our port. So for this, I'm going to open the web preview. So, okay, let's create an order. All right. So now so the first part, we have created the front end. Now we have successfully set up the back end. Now let's try to test and create an order. So let's say cover, smartphone cover. I'm gonna type in my customer name. Let's just input John's amount is 599. Then let's create an order for this smartphone cover. Now order is created. And then let's add in another one. Let's say card reader. I'm going to keep another order for this. So this would cost, let's say, 399. So let's create another order for that. So there we go. We have successfully created an order to this front end and send it to our back end. So for the mobile preview, let's try it. If we can place an order here. Okay, let's order a Note Basic 15. Let's click on John instead. Gosh. let's put the amount of 20. Then let's create an order for this product. There we go. We have successfully created our order. So to view those inputs, we are going to go back to our backend. So in the SAP lobby, click on the create ID IT order backend, and this should show up the entity, then click on the browse data. So in here we can now see that Jonas have placed the following order from the front end. So yeah, we just successfully created these records. Again, for another check-in, kindly type 1 if you manage to follow, or show us a couple of raised hands if you manage to successfully created the backend. For the again for a, a recap, so SAP is a great tool to use for mainly businesses who would want their operation be done on the web or in the cloud. So for this, we have these additional resources. So you can visit the Academy SAP. Okay, protocol. Or maybe you can access them in the SAP dashboard. Yeah, it's on the learning part. Yeah. And then for the community as well, it's just there. You can select those groups and partners. Then for the example apps, it's also in their website under this SAP learning program platform. So it's there. Then lastly, yeah, you check them out at sap.com so you can further explore other tools that they offer. And just for example, these certifications as well. So if you're quite interested to use SAP in your profession, this is one option to be certified.